should I be here?
Yeah, do you got to go somewhere now?
No, I was gonna text my fiance real quick to like,
Oh, do your thing. Do
yeah,
your thing. Well, I'll keep them. I'll keep them entertained for a second.
I bet.
What's up, everybody? I see people starting to come in. Welcome to another live MEC session. Of course, it's going to be another dope one. Appreciate you guys tuning in. No matter where you're tuning in from, whether it's Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, if you type in the comments, I should be able to see it, just like Bufo on the Beat just did. Appreciate you tuning in from Facebook. We're going to get started. This one, I see we have Jelmer Beats. What's up from Twitch? A6 Giddy. I see you. Thank you guys. I'm excited about this conversation. I've been following this cat for a few months now. I've been seeing the rise. So I think we're gonna get a lot of insight into how to do social media effectively, and a bunch of other questions that I have. He just stepped away for a second, but I'll introduce him in a few seconds. Michael Finn, what's going on? Appreciate you always tuning in. Shane, what's up, man? Never miss a session. I appreciate that. The support is much appreciated. We're live every Monday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific. DJ Payne 1 holds down the Thursday sessions. I hold down the Monday sessions. Who else do we have in here? Just like I said, if you type in the comments, I should be able to see it. Black Russia, what's going on? We got Piff back. We got him back.
Yes, sir.
You good now?
Yeah, I'm great. Everything's set up.
All right, so we got people tuned in. It's also being recorded, so people that missed the live session can come to the BeatStars Twitch page and watch the recording. But thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for even asking me to be here. I've been watching the videos for mad long. Actually, I'm a product of the stuff y'all be talking about in your videos. So it's like dope to come back full circle and just like get a chance to talk to y'all, you.
Man, that's dope to hear. And also, I manage a comedian named Big Ja, who's a big fan of yours. He said that he's gone back and forth with you on DMs. So it's just dope to see how close knit. Like it's a small world, especially with social media. People are so interconnected. But I didn't know you followed the MEC page. That's super dope.
Absolutely. And it goes to show that y'all made this page for the reason to help educate like artists and producers and any creative, to be honest, because any creative can really like get some gain from your channel. But it shows that it's working and y'all have like the purpose is really serving for real.
Dope.
So between y'all and Dorian Group 82 and producer Grind, like a combination of all of y'all.
There's a lot of platforms out there doing it, man, and I appreciate that because there's just a lot of bad information out there. So you need platforms that have vetted information, that have you need trusted resources, because being an artist is not easy. As I'm sure we're about to dive into it.
Absolutely.
But let's start off real basic, and for the people that aren't familiar, can you just talk a little bit about your background, where you're from, how long you've been making music, some stuff like that, and then we'll jump into some interesting stuff.
Oh, say less. So for those that don't know who I am, I know some people that are already in here know who I am, but my name is Piff Marti. From New York, specifically Harlem and the Bronx at the same time, because they both interconnected. For the people that don't know nothing about New York, I've been rapping since 2010, and I quit for like 4 years between 2013, 2017. Came back, and then what you see right now is a combination of all the things that I've learned during that journey.
Well, I think we can start right there when you say you quit. Because I think there's a lot of artists probably, having that in their mind. Should I quit? Should I keep going? What made you quit and take that 4-year break? What was going on at that time?
So yeah, it's a combination of things, and and as an artist, like I know that that's something that goes through our head like every 2 days. Like, damn, this ain't working. And what happened with me is that I actually took that further step and actually just stopped. I was one of those kids who were like naturally talented at everything. You know what I mean? Growing up, everybody's praising me. Yo, you're good. You're so good. You're so good. You're so good. You're so talented. You're so talented. All this validation growing up. And then after I turned 18 and became an adult and started getting into the real world, the few times that I heard no were the first times that I heard no. And I couldn't take it. You know what I mean? I went on 106 in Park, got I took a hard L because I didn't prepare for it because I was so arrogant, you know, because I'm like, I've been told I'm so great my entire life. I don't need to prepare for this. Took a L,
Mm.
right? Went to a label meeting. They said they didn't get the music. Took a L there. I dropped a mixtape in 2012. I expected that to be my So Far Gone or my whoever's breakout mixtape we could think of, and it didn't happen. I'm like, damn, am I trash? So I was
Mm.
like, so I just went to college, studied psychology and theater, you know what I mean? And I was doing that. And in back of my mind, I'm like, damn, I actually really do want to I do want to do music. I'm only interested in psychology because I just want to psychoanalyze people, not really
Mm.
not really wanting to do it as a profession.
Right.
But yeah, and I just decided to drop out and really give it a true shot and understand that I'm gonna be told no again, but that don't mean quit.
Right.
And
Yeah.
what
Damn. I didn't. So you dropped out. How many years did you go to? Did you go to college?
So I dropped out. I went to school. I went to college for like 3 years,
Okay.
and
You
this is,
might as
by the
well
way,
finish.
this is community college, by the way. So I
Okay.
was like taking breaks and in between that too, taking two classes here in a semester, 3 classes here, et cetera, et cetera. I was just taking it just to have something to do. In hindsight, you know, I
Mm.
didn't. There was no real goal to graduate. I just needed something to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taking a lot of my classes were really like the electives. Like I was taking a bunch of theater classes and like art classes and stuff like that. I wasn't really doing the the prerequisites. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I was doing a lot of that. And then I'm like, yo, why am I here? I know
Mm.
what exactly it is that I want to do. And I'm limiting myself by being here. Not to say that college isn't for anyone else, but I know that for what I wanted to do in my life, be an entrepreneur and be a artist who makes a living off of it, I knew what I needed to do. And I was in the middle of midterms and finals when I was working on an album, and I'm like, which one? You
Mm.
know what I mean? And then I just took that leap.
But so when you took that break and then came back, if I went back and listened to the music prior to the break, is it similar or is it totally different?
No, it's not similar. I mean, I have the same voice, but I sounded more like Wale because Wale was a rapper that I listened to all the time back then. He was establishing himself around that time, around 2011, 2013, and he's all I listened to, and he's exactly who I rap like. So for people in the chat, if you look up Raw by P Marty, because that's what I went by back then, Raw by
Mm.
P Marty, like 80% of it sounds like a Wale song because I just listened to Wale so much. But while I was talking about different topics, I really just didn't have a developed sound yet, and that's another reason why I came back because I'm like, how am I gonna be mad at myself for not having a developed sound if I don't even try to develop said sound? So
Mm.
I've been using this resurgence of my career as a on the job training at the same time and really just trying to figure out what it is that I like doing, what it is that I don't like doing, what sounds dope, and how do I separate myself from other artists at the same time while making some dope stuff for the people that listen to it. You know
And
what I
then what
mean?
about in terms of, since we are on BeatStars platform, like in terms of beat selection, have you your music, from what I've heard, it has number one, it be jamming, but it
Mm-hmm.
has like a particular, it has a particular sound. Like from a production standpoint, do you get involved? Like, are you a producer or where are you getting the production from?
I wish I was a producer because damn, like, but if I tried to be a producer, I would be a master of none and just a jack of all trades and don't really know what I'm doing. But I get a lot of these beats. Well, before I used to get a lot of the beats from YouTube, just like searching a bunch of type beats based on like people who never did a feature together, actually. So I would look up a Chance the Rapper featuring Young Thug, but I think they did do a track. But I'm trying to like see what a beat sounds like if these two rappers were on it, and then see how that sounds. But something that also grooves too, because I dance. You see me on my videos, I'm dancing in every single
Right,
video, and I
right.
like to dance. But as far as production is concerned, I would go on YouTube, but now people are just sending me beats. Now I'm able to like make beats from just people sending me, like Flex, the song that just came out, right? I had posted on my Instagram, hey, send me some beats, and that beat is something that a fan sent me, and I just hopped on it. Like I
Dope.
like collaborating with just like new producers.
Dope. That's super dope. So okay, you left 2013, you tapped back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
When did you get like a first win when you felt like, okay, I can, yeah, I'm back in this. Like I'm starting to move a little. What was the first small win?
The first small wins. First, whoa, hello, anybody here? Do y'all only see me or do y'all see Dame? I can't even see the comments. I think Dame tapped out.
I have no idea. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea. StreamYard's never done that before. So anyway, I think the question was when you tap back in, what was
Yeah.
the first small win that gave you a little more confidence? Like, okay, I might be onto something.
So I was the first thing I started doing was like trying to get on these competition shows, right? So BET offered like a couple competition shows that I jumped on. They brought back, not they didn't bring it back, but they brought a rap competition called Freestyle Friday on YouTube. So it wasn't like battling or anything like that. You would go on the show, compete against 30 other rappers, and you freestyle. And I was in the top three. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in the top three out of 30 people. Like I'm doing something, right? Then I did something again over the BET Awards weekend where they had 150 rappers like rap and then perform, and I'm like, I was in the top two. Like I didn't win, and thank God I didn't win. And I could talk about that after that. But I was in the top two, so I'm like, I'm doing something right. So that just like it was just fuel to keep going and keep going. But the first like significant win, besides me blowing up like 2 months ago, like starting like the traction I got, it happened in September actually when I just went on TikTok. So as you see from my videos, a lot of them are styled in a way that a TikTok video would be, just because that's how people consume like short form video in general.
Right.
So I had a video hit like 800,000 or 800,000 views on TikTok in September, and then it just started like I started gaining this traction. I'm like, oh, this is real people. These are real people who it's not my friend saying, yo, you fire, bro, keep it up. It's like somebody from Canada saying, yo, you inspire me, keep it up. You know what I'm saying? And as people kept telling me, hey, your music is changing my perspective on things, like that was the driving force really. And I'm seeing more and more and more and more people resonate with me in the way that I wanted them to actually. So it's not like there's no intention. Like they're receiving this work in the way that I wanted them to. So that was really it. So what happened in September with the viral video on TikTok?
And then how did you continue that? I haven't looked on your TikTok recently. Well, how many followers are you at now?
On like 390,000 on TikTok.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. TikTok is still, I mean, because I tell artists this all the time. Like normally when there's a new platform, and TikTok's not new anymore, and that's one reason, this is one reason why it's unique. There's typically a smaller window that you have to really make an impact, to make growth a lot easier. TikTok, like that window has been expanded, and there's still an opportunity because
It's fairly new. Sorry to cut you off.
yeah,
It's still fairly new.
yeah, and you know, there's still an opportunity, and people that haven't figured out TikTok or think TikTok corny, you got to put that to the side and figure out a strategy, because you know it's working for a lot of artists. So how do you continue that momentum? Like how you move different today than you were prior to September?
It's a matter of consistency, right? Just keep doing it and keep being better. And it's one of the reasons, it's the main reason why I put out my music the way that I do, because the longer that I'm showing my face to people, the more that they'll get used to me, the more that they'll share the videos to their friends, and people will just keep seeing me until I'm this person that you're gonna expect to drop dope shit every time. Like I found a formula that works specifically for me, and it doesn't seem like I'm copying everything anybody else, and it just works. You know what I mean? And I'll keep doing it until it doesn't work, or until I feel that the end of it is gonna happen, and then I'm gonna like improve. No, what's the word? You know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
tell you?
Nah, I
Yeah.
get it. I mean, you always have to evolve. Everything has to
Evolve,
evolve.
yes,
Like
that's
the
the word.
music has to evolve. The way we promote music has to evolve. We should try to stay a step ahead of the curve, is what I think you're saying. So you said how you release your music. So what is it about how you release your music? How do you look at music releases? What do you do?
So what I learned, right, and I think of all the rappers that got popping over the last 2 years, right? I think of Pop Smoke. I think of Lil Nas X. I think of Jack Harlow. I think of The Baby. Every single one of them, they drop videos with their songs. And that's just the way to release music now. You can't really drop a song without a video because there's like 10,000, 15,000 songs coming out every single day. So how do
Right.
you cut through? And I didn't have the bread to be paying a band a video to a director to shoot my video and have all these camera cuts just so I can release a song. So I had an iPhone and a tripod and some creativity, and I just went ham. You know what I mean? And I'm someone who's always been like a learner. I like going on YouTube and just learning how to do things because I want to be able to, when I start delegating these services, I want to be able to at least tell the person what I would want from them because I know how to do it. And
Right.
two, I can't wait for anybody to do it for me, especially with so many people being DIY and so many industries being DIY. Why can't rap be that way? But anyway, I figured out that music, a lot of rappers or artists in general drop videos with their songs, and I just figured out a way to do that same thing, but just with my phone. And
Yeah.
that's how people get to listen to it.
Man, I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I tell people this time and time again. I actually made a video because there's still people that will tell up and coming artists that it takes a certain amount of money to like break into the industry or to start getting some momentum. And I literally work with artists that don't have much money or don't have any at all, and just over time they learn how to do what typically you might have paid for in the past, and you do it better. Like even if you pay that $1,000, it's not going to be as effective as your videos because of how you learn. Like, you know yourself, I think, better than anybody
Better
else.
than anybody. Yep.
You know how you want to be portrayed on the screen. You know the song. You know, like, there's nobody that can do it better than you. So when you're making a video, you're literally doing this by yourself, right? Like you just like you don't even have somebody holding the camera. It's on the tripod.
Not just yet, but yeah, because I have a specific vision, and the way that I edit requires me to have it the way that I do it. And like I'll give you like some insight on how I'm doing it. Even when I'm writing the song and recording the song, I have the video in mind too, because it's just all a package deal. So that's another reason why I do it myself too, because I know exactly how I want it to be done when I put this out. So yeah, it's kind of yeah, it makes more sense to do it the way that I do it right now until I start delegating.
So on average, how long does it take you to make a video?
It depends on the video. So if I was to say an average, it would say I would say maybe 8 hours when you include shooting and editing all at the same time when you combine those things. But there's videos that took 2 weeks to do because when I went to find a spot, there was too many people, and I went at 3 o'clock instead of 11 o'clock. But I really liked the spot, so I came back the next day and did it. Or there was a video I had 16 other people that I had to travel across New York to Brooklyn to Queens to Bronx to get their freaking 4-second shot to make sure this video works. I mean, some people in the comments probably saw it. It's called Black Hair, where I had different black women with different hairstyles in different backgrounds shoot have a shot in the video, but that took 3 weeks to shoot. So it just depends on the nature of the video in the song. But I would say on average it would be 8 hours.
So, and one thing that stands out is just your level of comfort. I guess some people would just call it swag, like your confidence on camera. Like, did you kind of naturally have that? How did you develop just kind of a little showmanship?
Can we curse?
Yeah.
I stopped giving a fuck. I just stopped stopped caring about oh, how do I look? Or, you know what I mean? I just started having fun with it. And I didn't even mention this before. I didn't another reason I quit too, I just stopped having fun. I stopped having fun. I said oh, I gotta make it. I gotta be the next Kendrick Lamar. I gotta make it, and it just stopped being fun. And then nowadays, and you could tell from the videos, I'm just having fun recording each video and recording each song, and I'm laughing in between takes, and I'm by myself, and I look a little kind of crazy, but I'm dead ass having so much fun. So that's where the confidence or the appearance of the confidence, I mean, it's both really, comes from, because I'm literally just having fun shooting the video. And I come from a theater background too, so that also adds to the camera presence as well, you know, because I come from an acting background. But hey, it's fun. That's the reason why. Straight like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing that I've talked to a lot of young people about is I don't care what your background is. I don't care if you're the nerd of the school, the cool kid of the school. What is really cool once you get a little older is just having comfort in who you are. You could be the cat that reads comic books or anything that's traditionally nerdy or whatever. But if you get around people and you're comfortable with who you are, you might absorb a few jokes, but they're gonna respect you and they're gonna think you cool because you're comfortable in your own,
yourself.
in your skin. Dope, man. Anything else about the videos that we may not, because the videos obviously are crucial to your success thus far. Is there anything else about the videos that we should know in terms of how you put them together or what you're thinking about when you release a video?
So let me answer that without giving too much sauce away, because I do charge people for like this sauce. So the people watching this video, I do one-on-one consultations, and I literally tell you every single thing that I do and why it works. So a lot of people think that it's just the dancing and then the fun that I'm having in the video as to why the videos work, but there's definitely a science to it. But if I can answer that question without saying, I'll say
you
I'll
don't
say
got
enough.
to just go to, for people that are interested. This cat knows
People want to see your face.
Go to your Instagram.
This is my answer. I'll give an answer. People want to see your face, so you have to eventually like get rid of the shyness and discomfort that you have with being on camera. And a lot of times people are shy about that because they are insecure about something. You know what I mean? They don't like how their face look. They don't like how their nose look or whatever like that. And I had that same thing, but I was like, hey, nobody really cares that much. Nobody's psychoanalyzing me or analyzing every single aspect of the video. There's like 5 mistakes in every single video that a lot of people wouldn't point out because only I know it. But another artist will see these mistakes and like, damn, I can't even put this out because there's the aspect ratio is off. Nobody gives a fuck about an aspect ratio. You know what I mean? But I'll say that that's my advice for these people. Like, just like show your face, because you have to. If you want to be this, you have to show your face and be comfortable with showing your face. And somebody said, show your face and connect. TikTok 03 said, show your face and connect. Show your face and connect. And I think that's what resonates with people too in these videos. Like, I'm really talking to you like I'm the homie, even though I'm on a video. And that's something that y'all should tap into.
Right. And obviously it's the content of these songs too. Like, you're just talking some real shit. Like, I think it's a lot of things people are thinking and know, but aren't traditionally in songs. Right. So you're talking about, the perception of celebrities, and you could tell people like what are some of the other themes that run through your music?
So the certain thing, like I made a song about getting a new apartment. I made a song about men being able to not being able to express their emotions. I made a song about how celebrities are idolized. I made a song about fake friends. I made a song about waffles. You know what I mean? Like, I had to sit down with myself and say, what is my purpose as far as why I do this? It used to be money, clothes, hoes, fame, stuff like that. Stuff I don't really care about anymore. I care about it because it makes me money, but I don't care about it for my validation, my own validation of myself. And what I came to find was that I just want to make music for the people that don't know how to say what they feel, right? And I go with that in mind every time I record a song, every time I make a video to that song. I'm like, is this speaking towards things that people think about every single day that they don't tend to hear in a song? They may see it in a YouTube video with somebody talking about it, or in an interview where somebody's talking about it, but they don't really hear it in a song where they can repeat, and then it activates this right brain part where they can combine thoughts. I don't even know how to say what I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying. So I just make music for people that don't know how to say what they feel, and then that's why the content of my music is like that. Because I never sold a drug, I never busted a gun. You know what I mean? I never did anything, and I don't want to lie and say that I do it. I have bars for that. Like the most creative bars come from these gun lines, and I watch battle rap. So I don't know if you watch battle rap, but these creative ass bars from like talking about some street shit. But I'm not a street guy, so I had to really talk about things that I actually go through, and that resonates with the other people that go through the same thing, because we all humans.
Yeah, no, I think that the music market corrects itself, right? Like, when you have a lot of people going one way, it builds up demand for a shift. Right. And I always feel like there's always been diversity in music. It's like, well, what's on the radio, that might be a different thing. What label sign, that there may not be a lot of diversity in that, but just in diversity in music that we can find on the internet, there's a lot of different types of artists. But when the masses kind of build up in one direction, you know, the demand shifts towards another. And I think that's another reason why, you know, your stuff goes viral, because it stands out. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's messaging that people want
It's
to hear.
palatable, and it's
Yeah.
palatable too. And
Yep.
I touched on this earlier too. Like I really wanted it to be like I'm talking to you as a homie, as opposed to somebody standing on like a a, a podium preaching down to you, talking down to you because I'm holier than down. Nah, I'm the same as you. I just know how to rap about it straight like that. One second, my laptop battery about to die. Let me just fix that real quick. So
No,
y'all don't
it's
lose
all
me.
good. I'll talk to the people again. So hopefully people are vibing with this interview. I am gonna have a question and answer session, and basically all you need to do if you haven't attended a live MEC session before is just type your questions in the comments. So whether you're on Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, we're gonna get to a Q&A session eventually. So you can type your questions in the comments. You can start doing that now, and we'll get to them. I have a few more questions myself, and then we'll jump into those. But so I noticed on Spotify that some of your album covers are just colors. Like
So
what's the, is there anything behind that? Is there, or is it just is what it is?
so yeah, I don't like spending money, right? I don't like spending money, and my whole thing is being DIY,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm like, people see the name of the song on it anyway. If I can have a color that describes this song, I'll put it there. So free yourself. It sounds like a yellow song, so I put a yellow cover. Flex, it sounds like an orange song, so I just put an orange color. And and there's a psychological thing too. Like a lot of colors, a lot of companies choose the colors for their logos and everything like that based on like how this color makes you feel. I think blue is a sign of trust, yellow is a sign of happiness, orange is a sign of, I forget, but that's the reason why. And then, it just so happened to be a happy accident where it's like, oh, this is cool, splitting
Right.
colors on it, you know what I mean? But it's because I don't want to spend money.
Yeah. No, so when I used to run a label, and our primary color was orange. And being from LA, orange was like a safe color in my opinion. Like there were a lot of and like I don't like orange at all, but like orange just stands out. It never was super effective because I couldn't really get the artist to buy into orange, but like I wanted orange to just kind of, when you saw orange, or if you went to our show and see like a sold out show, like a bunch of orange towels, kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers have the terrible towels.
Yeah.
Like that in my mind, like that's what I was just trying to, just a kind of a branding thing. And I thought it would have been super effective, but what you realize as a manager, like you might have the greatest ideas. If you can't get the artist to buy in, they're gonna fall flat on their face.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was semi-effective, but it definitely wasn't what it could have been. All right.
I
Go
also think of Baby Keem too, because Baby Keem, he does kind of the same thing with his covers. Like it's like a palette. Like for orange soda, he has an orange and then another shade of orange and another shade of orange, etc., etc. And then for Do-Rag Activity or No Sense, one of those songs is blue and then shades of blue and then browns and shade of brown, etc., etc. So I'm like, I could tap into that too, and it looks on brand at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, I
It's
mean,
on the job training. Like I said,
right.
I'm still, it's all figuring it out as I'm doing it.
It's a lot of trial and error. But you can save. I mean, I think even someone like Russ with those very simple single covers. I mean, I'm sure he didn't pay that much for those. He might have even done them himself. There's so many ways to not only save money, but to stay on brand and to have that be part of your story and part of your messaging, like, because it fits, who you are and the story that you're trying to tell.
Yeah, and somebody said simple but unique. Black Russia said the same thing. But like, yeah, simple. It's simple and unique. Unique but simple.
Sure, yeah. Dope. So I can hear. So obviously, listening to the music, I knew that there was some kind of psychology back. I didn't know if obviously you said you studied it. Matter of fact, like that, if I was forced to go back to school, like I would probably want to get a degree in psychology because it's interesting.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
It's interesting because you want to just kind of understand people better.
And yourself.
Yeah, indeed. So going next 6 months, what's the plan? What is you trying something different? Like what does next 6 months look like for you?
I'm gonna scale up the way that the videos are done, and I'm just gonna keep dropping songs. Like I'm gonna eventually there'll be a project involved with it, but as I said earlier, I want to be able to show my face as many times as possible. So I'm just gonna keep dropping newer singles and on different topics. So I'm gonna still keep talking about different topics and maintain that, but I'm just gonna up the ante a little bit. You know what I mean? If it
And
ain't
then
broke, don't fix it, but just make it better.
right. And then what and if you're not comfortable talking about this, you'd be like, look, I don't, stay out my
Mhm.
pockets. But like just like what monetization like opportunities have opened up? Yeah,
No,
obviously you're
I can
streaming
talk about that.
more. I know obviously you're streaming more, so there's some streaming revenue coming in. And you said you're doing some consulting, so maybe some artists are reaching out to you for consulting. Is
Mhm.
there feature money? Like, we don't need to talk about how much it is, but what new opportunities have opened up for you?
Can you still see me? I think
Yeah, no, we can
all
still
right.
see you.
Cool. Yeah, I could talk about that. I'm not gonna talk about the how much, but I can talk about like, what opportunities could come just so I can like tell other artists like how close and reachable and attainable this is.
Mm-hmm.
So streaming money, of course. Um the consultations that I do too, because I obviously know exactly what I'm doing, and I do want to be able to help other artists too, because I wish I had an artist who's buzzing tell me exactly what they did to get there and how they can do it, how I could do it for myself. So that, and then partnerships, brand partnerships, making videos for other brands, and then like having like product placement in my videos too, because I'm doubling as a content creator slash influencer as well as a rapper too. Like a lot of people, hear my music, they think I'm studying Kendrick. And yes, I'm studying Kendrick to a degree. I'm studying rappers, but I'm also studying Saweetie. I'm also
Mm-hmm.
studying Lil Nas X, the people that know how to use the internet well and like using their quote unquote clout and influence to garner brand partnerships as well too. And I think more artists should tap into that too, especially with the landscape of how social media is now and how things work now, where these our Instagram pages are really our TV channels now. It's our subscription channels, and the more numbers, like more vanity metrics, rather, the that we have, the more opportunity we have when brands come to us and say, "Hey, can you do this for us?" And then you're able to like tell them how much they gotta pay for that for that service. You know what I mean?
So with the sponsorships you've done thus far, they've come to you, or are you doing some active outreach to certain brands that you like as well, or is it both?
They've all come to me, but my team, we're gonna my team, it's just me and another person. We're going to
That's a
we're
team.
it's a
That's how the
team.
team. That's the
We're
team.
we're 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 doing outreach as well too, so we can maximize like the momentum that I have now, and then plant seeds for when the momentum comes. More momentum comes to me in the future too. But I
And
definitely think artists should tap into like the influencer bag at the same time.
and then how are you guys looking at one, like how much you should charge? Are they just like offering you a price and you say yes or no? Like how are you determining your value in these negotiations?
Hey, I learned that if you just make it up, you know what I mean? I'm not even gonna say make it up. You determine your worth based on, of course, on other people's like how I do research and say how much did they pay such and such and where were they at, and you know what I mean? And then you come up with a number that makes sense for both. But I try not to set myself short
Mm,
or sell myself short just because of it being so new for me and me not being able, but in the past not being able to get these opportunities. I don't want to like choose such a number that, oh, I just want to make sure they okay with it, so they they don't like pull. I try to go for as much as possible, and I just compare. I just analyze the numbers based on other people's partnerships as well too. But definitely pick a number.
right.
Definitely pick a
So
number.
So yeah, I mean the brand sponsorships are crucial. Hopefully you develop long-term mutually beneficial relationships so that you really lock in with some brands, and then
Yeah.
eventually they're like, okay, well, we want to work with you. We'll give you like a 12 month deal instead of like a one-off, because ultimately, having some brands in your back pocket that might be able to throw you some bread to fund an album or to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's so valuable to have in your corner if you can build these healthy, mutually beneficial relationships. Are there some brands that you think would just be super in line with your brand and would be helpful from a promotion standpoint, and you would take less money? Like what other brands complement Piff Marti? If you
I'll
could
I'll
just
s-
pick them.
I'll say one. There's others in mind, but I want to tell them that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But there's obviously Apple, because I use my iPhone and I'm a product of shot by iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a product of that, like by direct. And I'm not I don't want to like I'm not ashamed of I'm not ashamed. I'm not like what I'm trying to say. I don't mind saying that out loud. Like
Mm-hmm.
Apple, like that's a partnership that I would love to have. Not to say I would take less money to have that partnership, you know what I mean? But it's a partnership that I'd like to explore.
Well, wouldn't it depend, right? Like,
It would depend. It
what if
would
they were
definitely
like,
depend.
hey, we're gonna put this pretty much everywhere, right?
Hmm.
Like that would be huge.
It'll depend. It all depends. Every single thing, depends on whatever the circumstances at the time are. So I can't say I know I just said I wouldn't take less money, but I can't say what it is until it comes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I examine it based on what's in front of me.
Well, the good thing is Apple just would never do that because they have a shitload of money and they don't need to squeeze people for bread. So
Hey, you'll be surprised how many brands with so much money try to squeeze. Because
oh
like,
yeah, but not Apple though. I haven't heard it with Apple. I haven't heard, I know a few people over at Apple. I actually tried to get Apple involved with this project that I just did called 1 Week Notice.
mhm.
And I think I will be able to get them involved at some point. But anyway, I don't think they would do that. Maybe they would. I don't know. All right, let's get to some of these questions that you guys posted. Let's see. Great Brilliance asks, what would you suggest for someone starting now? Like your stuff is engaging and you have an audience that's checking for you. What would you do if you didn't have that and started over right now? Well, it wasn't that long ago, which
Yeah, it
you
wasn't that
did
long ago.
kind of start over. So perfect person to answer this question.
Yeah, the main thing that I would suggest is, and it has nothing to do with music. It's really more of a mental thing. Like artists and creatives, we get in our own way for whatever reason. We have this idea of perfection that doesn't exist. Only thing that's perfect, it usually has to do with math and our jobs and our what we do. It's always a subjective thing. It's never a concrete thing. So perfect to you is different for somebody else too. So stop worrying about that. That is literally the main thing that I'll tell any other artist. Stop trying to be perfect and just start. And you'll be able to improve on what works for you as you keep doing it because you already did it. And don't be afraid to fail in front of people. And that's another thing that people like gets in artists heads. They're afraid to fail, not because of the failing part, but because it's in front of other people. So just like how I'm doing the on the job training with my career right now, you should do it too. And the key is just literally just starting and not really giving a fuck about whether or not it's perfect. You'll get better as you do it. It's never gonna start out perfect.
That's great advice. You got to start, be consistent, and continuously improve over time. Even with the MEC, I look back at some of the older videos. I think last week, I was like, the camera was terrible, the sound
Mm-hmm.
was terrible. Like there were a lot of, and I was terrible. And some people might think I'm still terrible, but I actually got better at asking questions and just talking on camera because this is probably the thousandth time I've done it.
Right.
So,
You just get better as you keep doing it
yeah,
with
you get
everything.
better. You get better at stopping from using like non-words and just keeping the flow of the conversation going. So it's like you said before, the consistency is crucial and just continuously improving over time. So
And don't compare yourself to other artists too. That's another thing. That will put you in a hole. Like if you have 100 followers and your favorite artist has 1 million followers, just keep in mind that they also had 100 followers when they started too. And also just stop worrying about followers too. Just like make shit
right.
and it will come. Yeah.
For sure. All right, this should be a quick one. I don't have a laptop. What app for iPhone could I use to make music videos?
There's several. So there's I'll give you two. There's what is this? Adobe Premiere, the Apple app, the Apple version. There's Villo. It's spelled VLLO. That's a good app. And then iMovie. iMovie is an okay app. I think that you can use too. So those three. So Adobe Premiere, the phone version, Villo, VLLO, and then iMovie.
And then just to throw another one in there, because I have one called Video Leap on my phone that I've been using for quite some time, and there might be better ones, but I've gotten so used to using Video Leap. It's pretty intuitive. I think it's
I
dope.
have Video Leap too.
Yeah, that
I
one
have
right
Video Leap. Yeah,
there. Yep,
that's a good app
Video
too.
Leap. I like Video Leap. It costs money, but I like it. That it's simple to use.
That's a good app too. And with all these apps that I mentioned too, go on YouTube and learn how to use it as well. Because it's not so much about the app itself. Like, of course, apps have different features like that's specific to them, but it's not going to do anything for you if you don't know how to use it. So go on YouTube and just learn how to use these apps, and you'll be able to do whatever you want with them.
Oh. There's another person here asking about collaborations. How do you like? Who do you just? I don't think I'm sure you've collaborated with somebody before, but like, who do you look for in collaborative opportunities? Or will you collaborate with another artist?
I'll collaborate with other artists, and what I look for when it comes to that is just like me genuinely liking your music. It's literally it. I just have to genuinely like your music, and yeah, of course, there will be some artists who I'll do a feature with just because of the attention that it will bring to me. And but at the same time, I also would like their music at the same time anyway. But anyway, I have to genuinely like your music. I don't tend to do features that just come with a bag because I'm gonna be forcing myself to rap on a song that I don't vibe with, and then the verse is gonna be trash, and then you just paid me to do something and I gave you a shitty verse, and then you're gonna be mad at me. I just didn't like the song, so that's why I won't do a collaboration unless I genuinely like the song that you brought to me, or if unless I genuinely like your music personally too.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Shane asks, have you noticed any limitations on organic reach on TikTok since they rolled out their ads platform? Have you noticed any changes in
Nah,
TikTok?
nah, TikTok. I don't even know if this helps them either. Like they should. I'm not gonna tell them that they should limit organic reach so that the ads can work more. But nah, the organic reach is still it, and then that's the reason why that's TikTok's like number one thing. Like the fact that you can reach millions of fans without having to pay money for an ad at all. So for me personally, I haven't seen any limitations on it, but I also know how the algorithm works. So that's probably why too.
Yeah, no, I don't know how you feel about Spotify streaming rates, but obviously, I think the general population or just a lot of people think that streaming rates need to be increased, and I'm not saying that they don't need to be, but to me, the bigger issue, at least not the social media platforms that aren't TikTok, if we can just get the same reach that you get on TikTok on like Instagram and Facebook, and like that would increase the monetary opportunities a hundredfold and way more than like getting Spotify to, pay you a penny a stream or something like that.
But you are able to get the same reach on Instagram now because of
Oh, you
Reels.
can?
Because of
Oh,
Reels.
yeah. But it's
Reels
not,
is just
so you believe that it's the same. Is it like TikTok?
mm-hmm.
So you
It's the
think
same.
real?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But people don't go on TikTok to know that Reels is literally just TikTok on Instagram. So they're like, oh, this is Reels, and they think that I'm about to give some sauce right now. I think that the Instagram is trying to make Reels happen so badly. They want it to happen so badly that they eliminated the whole algorithm limitation where the post only shows to like 10% of the people. You know what I mean? They show it to like a bunch of your followers now, and they show it to everybody who probably wouldn't have seen it. So that same organic reach that you see on TikTok, you see on Reels now. And I don't know how it could be like TikTok here and then Reels right here, or
Right.
it could be like this, but it's dangerously close.
Yeah.
Now,
No. Anytime a social media platform experiments with a new surface, like you should jump on it
jump
right
on it
away.
immediately,
Right away.
immediately.
Because
Like I stopped posting regular posts and I just started doing all my posts as Reels now.
Yeah. Now we actually on the MEC page, most of our content is a lot long, and I know they increase reels from 30 seconds to a minute now. But a lot of our content is longer than that, but we try to post as many reels now as possible because of what you just said.
The reach is crazy, and now reels are 60 seconds now, so there's a lot more time that you can put in the video, and you just got to get a little creative with just like how you able to package everything that needs to be packaged in that said video.
Right.
But yeah, but to answer your question, as far as like, you didn't really ask this question, but you said something about Spotify and how much they need to pay. I think they do need to pay more, but the thing is that similar to Uber, Spotify bit off more than they can chew as far as their business model is concerned. And Spotify is turning into a podcasting app, podcasting streaming service as opposed to a music streaming service because they don't offer before the podcast, they didn't really offer anything differently than Tidal and then Apple Music, like all the same music were on the app. So they're chasing the podcast bag and basically, I don't think Spotify was making enough money to pay the amount of money per stream as they promised when they had this business model. I think they said something like they're not in the business of paying artists. Like I think they said that they're not in the business of paying artists. They're in the business of making music and content accessible to the consumer. I think they
Right.
said I have to look that up, but they were very like transparent. Like, yo, we ain't say we was gonna pay y'all. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So but there is money in streaming. You just have to figure out the algorithm, just like you got to figure out the Instagram algorithm. Apple Music and Tidal and Spotify all have algorithms. And if you go on YouTube, you go down some rabbit holes and figure out what that algorithm is. Somebody literally just never mind. They said you got to twerk to trigger the algorithm. I didn't say it. That's not what I'm. But you have to work to trigger the algorithm at least. And just like Spotify, just like the social media platforms, these DSPs have algorithms too. And you just got to figure out what it is, and then you'll be able to make money off of streaming too. Because at the end of the day, record labels aren't trying to get your masters unless streaming makes money. You know what I mean? They wouldn't go
Right.
so ham as far as like getting your masters if streaming didn't make money. So yeah, there's money in streams. You just got to get a lot of them, and to get a lot of them, you just got to figure out the algorithm.
Yeah, and part of figuring out the algorithm is being consistent with your releases, because once you have a catalog of music that's quality music, every time you release something, it reminds people to come back to your page and listen to music. So the more music you put out, the more consistent you are with the good music, as you're developing your community, because I tell artists, like, it's all about, if you understand the value of community, you'll have a very long career in this music industry. Like if you have your own little community, because they're going to listen to the music time and time again. It's not going to be one little listen and move on. Like they're going to dive deep into the catalog. And as new community members come in, if you have 50 songs for them to listen to, that's much more valuable than for them to have 3 songs to listen to.
Straight like that. And there's artists who I think of: Rod Wave, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, Russ, who drop a shitload of music, and that's why they stream so well too. Outside of the promotions that their labels do for them, not Russ, because Russ is not with a label, but I'm sure there's some promotion things that he do. But dropping music, especially in this day and age, is the number one way to get your streams up organically, because there's algorithmic playlists now on these streaming services. If they reward you for getting people to listen to your music on their app. And that's how all these apps work. So tap into that. And I think the hardest thing for artists to do to tap into that is just like, a lot of artists don't make a lot of songs, but we're in an age where you have to make a lot of songs. And then you don't got to drop a single a week or anything like that, but at least have a couple projects per year. Somebody said facts. Alamo has been killing it. Yeah, Alamo is the director of streaming. I don't know if he still works there, but he's the one that I found that out about, like how you have to drop a bunch of music to activate the algorithm on your streaming services for you to get the streaming bag too. But yeah, I said that to say there's a streaming bag. You just got to make a lot of music and get people to listen to it.
Yeah. Well, dope, man. Well, I definitely have enjoyed this conversation.
Likewise, man.
If there's anything that you need from me, any questions you have for me, feel free to reach out. The line is open. I know that Big Ja is a supporter of your music. I'm sure he'll be reposting, your future music. If you want some music in one of his sketches, I'm sure he'd be down to put it in there.
I know I never asked him that.
Yeah. A lot of the music goes like, because when he puts out his sketches and there's a dope song in it, a lot of people comment like, where's this song? Who's this artist? So it's often a good look to have music in his sketches. So before we go, is there anything that I left out? Is there anything that people should know about Piff Marti that we didn't touch on?
Yeah, I say like, hey, just go to either my Instagram or my TikTok at Piff Marti to find out my new songs, to hear my new songs. I also do one-on-one consultations with artists so I can give you all the sauce that I've learned and thereafter too as I grow bigger and bigger, because there's a lot that I figured out, and it's not like by chance what has happened to me is happening. Like I tapped into something that I learned. So if you want to get into that, just send me a DM and figure out how we can schedule a call. We can do that. And Dame, I just want to say thank you, because again, bro, I've learned a lot of what I know too from watching music entrepreneur club. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just dope that it came back full circle, and I'm like very very appreciative. Like I'm telling people in the comments, like when Dame hit me up, I responded within like 5 minutes. Did I respond quickly? I don't know. I don't remember if
Yeah,
I
no, it
responded
was
quickly.
very, super.
But
And I appreciate the quick response too. I think the communication was on point. But I really appreciate you saying that. I think, I mean, I know that we're having a positive impact, but then when somebody comes back and actually kind of shows the results,
yeah,
I'm glad that we could, be a positive, contribution to what you got going on.
that's why I say y'all should definitely keep doing this. Like keep doing what y'all doing, because I'm sure I'm not the only artist that y'all helped. Anything else I want to say? Yeah, artists, like get out of your own way. That's it. Get out of your own
Easier said than done for a lot of you folks out there.
way.
It seems
Definitely,
like it, but I
definitely.
mean, it's
But
a crucial. You got it. I mean, you got to. I see. That's probably the biggest thing that's stopping a lot of, especially talented artists that I know. I know some super talented artists that will just not get out of their own way. So we got to keep telling it to them, and hopefully it resonates at some point.
it's the number one thing. A lot of artists think that it's the music. They gotta like put some more reverb on their vocals. There's only 95%, only 5% of us really care about that shit. The people that listen to music don't really care about that. Just get out of your own way. Straight like
Indeed. Dope, man. Well, thank you once again. We're gonna have you back as you continue your journey and continue to have more success.
and I'll be happy to be back.
And like I said, if you ever need anything from us, man, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yes, sir.
Everyone else, thank you for tuning in. On Thursday, you got DJ Pain One has a guest. I never remember his guest, so I'm sorry. It's gonna be a dope. It's gonna be a dope session, I'm sure. But yeah, all right, y'all. Have a good week. I'll
Stay
talk to y'all
dangerous,
soon.
y'all.
Peace.